Understanding the Malignant Narcissist. This is the emotionally stunted. Chronic self-absorbed, chronic self-preoccupied behavior. They think of themselves first, limited or complete lack of empathy, lack of guilt or remorse, disregard for your well-being, safety, and those you love. They do what feels best. They do not learn from past mistakes and continue to repeat behaviors that has negative consequences. Lack of self-reflection, inability to take your perspective, stand in your shoes, history of conflict and drama in relationships, history of denying reality due to effective realism. Reality is what it feels like versus what it is. History of distorting reality, making up new narratives about situations to deal with it. History of impulsive behavior, more feeling than thinking, so they do what feels best. Enmeshments in relationships instead of emotional intimacy. May focus on physical things versus emotional. They do not do emotional work. They do not know how to repair relationships effectively. Tetraled brain. Anxiety, antisocial personality disorder, addiction, memory loss, psychopathy, and low neurons so they can't think. This is the superior psychology. Now, the malignant narcissist takes it a step further with the extreme selfishness and charisma. Charisma is the one thing they have that these guys don't. But that's your base for these people. It took me a minute to actually understand this. I always wondered. I remember asking Blondie what it is they wanted from me. And he's like, so you die. I hate you. And I was like, what is this? But I think a Dementis, you'll never balance the scales with their suffering. Which is he's like, you idiot, you'll never balance the scales with their suffering. It doesn't matter how much they hurt you, because it's not how you fix something. You 2-year-old. But let's talk about this. I remembered one of the other wishes. I remember, because I forgot that wishing for money got you killed. And I remember Anal Eating Mummy God told me I wasn't allowed to wish for money. So I wish to give money, $2 million to Stu. Yes, I thought if I gave Stu money, he would leave me alone. And it ended up in this absolutely hilarious situation where I get this call at an ungodly hour. And it's the blue-eyed guy. And it's ring, ring, ring. And I need you to wish for something else. Anything else. He was like, I'm going to talk to Anal Eating Mummy God tomorrow. All you need to do is wish for something else, please. And I was like, no, I can't do that, dude. Once Stu gets that money, he'll leave me alone. And he was, that's not how it works. And I was like, nah, dude, once Stu gets that money, he'll leave me alone. Oh, shit. And then I get a call back. And it's this. It's from bra! From bra! I don't even know what from bra means, but he's from bra! From bra! I don't believe in getting upsetted! I don't believe in the book! I don't believe in anything! I don't know anything! I don't believe in it! I was like, what the fuck is this? It's just him screaming incoherent nonsense about their religion and how he doesn't believe a damn word of it. And then the blue-eyed guy takes the phone and he's like, Bobby, please. He's freaking out. He didn't mean any of that. Don't repeat any of that to anyone. He didn't say that. He didn't. I was like, he did say that. You don't understand. If I give him this money, they're gonna kill him. And he's pooped himself, he soiled himself, and he's peed on himself, and he's hiding under the bed from the check. Please, just when Anal Eating Mummy God calls tomorrow, wish for anything else. And then I hear Stu in the background, my dad wants me dead! No! No! And I was, can I ask you something, blue-eyed guy? And he's, whatever you want. He's just ask it. He's like, as long as you pull the wish tomorrow, you can ask it. And I was, Stu doesn't care if he gets, like, church members killed, but he's doing all this. And he's, shut up. I was, what? I can't talk bad about Stu. I'm not allowed to. And I'm just asking this freak out and how, and he's like, look, and then he calls me back an hour later. It's like 1 a.m. and he's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's just bawling in the corner, screaming and waddling in his own filth and crying. And I was like, I don't know why you're calling me about this. And he was like, I'm begging you, please. And not too long after this, like, I get a call from Anal Eating Mummy God, and that's where I think I wish for the El Camino, because, you know, if I wish that Augusta Gore went back to George Miller, everybody would have started getting killed again, everything would have went bad again, everything would have turned violent and stupid, because that's how these people behave. They can't just give you something, they gotta fuck you up first and then give it to you. They don't do kindness, it's not a thing with them. Remember Ganon? You're being stupid, you're being nice! Like, that's how they think, they're just disgusting like that. So, anyways, I get pulled over by Stu, and he has his gun, and he's all like, "You're fucking scared! You're scared! I know you're scared! You're fucking scared!" And then I remember the blue-eyed guy just tell him, "You're scared?" Yes, I'm scared, Stu. And yeah, I wasn't scared. I would have taken the money. I didn't poop myself and cry, and he just sucked my thumb. And he just gets in his squad car that, I don't think he was supposed to have a squad car now that I think about it. And then he leaves. And, like, I think about this now and I understand exactly what the deal is. These guys, because they drink tetraled and they are molested as children, they are raped, that causes insecurity. It doesn't matter what they say, they're insecure. You can't listen to them, they're full of shit. Everything with these guys is they want you to feel their emotions. And that makes sense because every time the blue-eyed guy told me the right thing to say, which was tell him you're jealous, tell them it's always their emotion and they want you to feel it. Because their emotions are terrible because they can't process them. Like, learn how to process your emotions. It's not that hard. There are 8-year-olds that can do it. You're being shown up by an 8-year-old. Grow up. Like, what the shit? And it makes more sense now because I remember my cuddle buddy now. I remember her actually dosing me with strychnine and Stu going on about how scared I am. And I remember, like, when your body feels scared and you're not scared in your mind, they call it like a dissociative emotional disorder. I remember one of the guys, I don't remember who or what, they were a member of the church, and they told me, like, their malignant narcissist leader hated this one autistic guy because this autistic guy didn't have emotions he could show. Like, this guy could feel them, but he couldn't express them. And they were, the guy at the church was so obsessed to getting to this autistic guy that didn't know any better that he, like, murdered this guy's cat, murdered his sister, and murdered his family. And just kept hurting this guy because he just wanted to hurt him. And it was because this guy had said something, because he's autistic and doesn't know any better, to this church leader, and the entire church was hell-bent on terrorizing this autistic guy. And the guy's story kind of ends sadly because they do end up, the church assists the church leader in framing the autistic guy, and now he's in jail. But then, like, when he was in jail, he confessed to the malignant narcissist blue-eyed guy. He does feel emotions very deeply. He just doesn't have the ability to express them. And I realize now, because I'm a stoic and I don't do emotion, that's that stuff with the blondie, and I'm not getting the delicious human suffering, and he's dying because he can't cause misery. And I was just, the immaturity is phenomenal. But I also think about, like, a couple other if you're gonna threaten me, I'm not gonna talk to you. You're gonna make threats, I'm not talking to you. Like, and just the complete, like a father catching a child. Like, imagine if a child walked over to a man and was like, "I'll kill you if you don't give me candies," and you're like, "I'm not gonna talk to you if you're gonna act like that. Go away." Like, I just realized this. Like, I'm gonna openly admit I might sound like an arrogant prick, but I'm actually kind of an idiot. I often don't notice things, and I kind of skip over shit like this, but I just realized every time I talk to the blue-eyed guy, he was literally telling me, like, whatever emotion these idiots are feeling, just tell them you're feeling it, and they leave you alone. Because they need to know they're hurting you. They need to know, because they believe, it's projection. They can't process their emotions, so you can't process your emotions. That's not possible. Like, no, I can. You're just inferior because you didn't go through the developmental cycles, which is why you're emotionally stunted. Right here. It's right here. And no, it doesn't matter how much suffering you cause or how many people you kill or how many people you hurt. You'll never get over it. And I remember the blue-eyed guy was talking about that. He's like, even murdering people, he talked about fucking some of the church leaders after killing somebody they just go on and on and on about that one person even though they're dead. And I was just like, it's all in their head. So they make themselves crazy and then refuse. And I remember back and forth, I was like, have you ever thought of trying to teach him how to do that? Like how to process his own emotions? And the blue-eyed guy's like, we're not allowed to have that training. And I was just like, this is kind of cruel to some extent. Because they believe that their psychology is the superior psychology. Like, they believe acting like a 2-year-old is the best way to be. And I'm just gonna say the charisma part, like, anybody that's charismatic or a cult of personality where people just... I used to do it in high school. I used to talk like Ed and everybody would join in and we just laugh and have fun. We'd just play all the time. It was just all good vibes, you know. But I think about these misery machine fanatics. They're like, oh, my church leader's charismatic, but everything is miserable. And I guess, arguably, that would make the church leader the only good thing if he's the thing that makes you feel good, but then he makes everything miserable. So you understand how he makes everybody miserable, but then, like, he's the good thing because he's entertaining to watch, I guess. I guess maybe that's the whole thing with them, is they're entertained. And I'd argue they're probably not entertained by anything amazing. It's probably very disappointing. But like I said, I just realized this. I remember the blue-eyed guy who told me that Anal Eating Mummy God had to intervene between me and Stu, apparently, because Stu was about to apparently do that thing where they go rogue and flip out and just start murdering people for no reason, because he kept messing up, and once again, they don't have introspective, so he wasn't capable of recognizing it, so he was freaking out. And I just remembered this, like... It's kind of a fascinating aspect, and I guess if you know a malignant narcissist, try to figure out whatever you did to trigger them, which is probably going to be impossible. Remember, these idiots think they're telepathic, and they can tell you telepathically. They're not. If you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, just guess at what you did to trigger them, and I'm just going to be clear on this. I remember as a kid, my father, who's a narcissist, he's not malignant, but he's a narcissist, he used to ask me how my Aunt Joy was doing. And I would tell her she was doing good, and I didn't think anything of it, and then he would behave like a cock. And I mean, he would do, like, we'd visit him during the summer, first thing off the plane, he would ask that, and then all summer, he would just be a fucking dick. And I had no fucking idea why the fuck he did that, and it was years later where he explained to me he needed to hear the delicious human suffering of Joy, cause he doesn't like Aunt Joy. She was mean to him back in 1992 or some shit, and it hurted his feelings, and he never got over it, cause he can't process his emotions, and it's everybody else's fault, and he's not gonna learn how to process his emotions, and he's gonna keep doing the stupid thing again and again, no matter what. And I just, as a kid, you're like, wow, you're an imbecile. Like, I'm not sure exactly, like, I'm pretty sure somebody out there probably needed this video, like, to understand. They probably deal with a narcissist or a malignant narcissist. And once I figured out my dad just wanted to hear my Aunt Joy wasn't suffering, I'd make up stories and tell him my Aunt Joy wasn't suffering because it made, the Cenobite, the need, the love, the delicious human suffering, even if it's completely imaginary. I don't know why these guys can't just pop LSD and imagine they're causing human suffering. I'm pretty sure that would probably be just as good as anything else. Like, I don't fucking... whatever. It is important to remember emotionally stunted people are spite brain. Spite brain means you have to get back at people for injustice and perceived injustice. And you are willing to do anything to get that. Get other people killed, get other people injured, put other people at risk, which is something the church does a lot. And, like, I don't whatever gives you a hard on about serving a guy that operates like a 2-year-old. Like, but I also think about the antisocial behavior, the manipulation, the constant lies upon lies, and them trying to explain they don't lie, but they do lie. And even when you know their psychology, narrative spinning, making up a new narrative for a situation has got to be the craziest fucking shit. But it's that shit Stu said. You repeat a history enough, it becomes true. Like, okay. Like, I mean, I guess that's good for me, because their new history implies I was never president, so I guess, like, there's that. I'm the forgotten timeline. I don't fucking... whatever. I was, like I said, this was just one of the things that just came to me, so if you're ever dealing with a malignant narcissist, remember... if you hurted their feelings, and this is the thing, these dickheads, even Jumanji, that idiot, they suffer from silent emotions, okay? And silent emotions in psychology are the most dangerous, because people suppress those and then act on them, and that makes them dangerous. I think about even the Bible, if you ever know anything about envy, it's represented by the angry eye, and it's because you can catch these people looking at you hatefully for a split second before fucking their intentions are known, and their intentions are always malicious because they're malicious people. That's why malignant narcissists are considered to be the most evil psychology, and narcissists and psychopathy are like the next two. And I would argue emotionally stunted has got to be at least number 4 on the list of fucking evil bastards. These guys think it's the perfect psychology, though. They think operating like a 2-year-old is perfect, so I mean, and that's somehow legal under the government. I would argue, if your religion causes psychological damage, it should probably be banned. Okay? You should probably lose your tax-exempt status. Okay? Because worshipping a defective psychology is absolutely dangerous. Okay? And perpetuating that psychology is even more dangerous. Alright? So... yeah, and like I said, I could probably think of a bunch of other occasions where I triggered my dumbass dad and he just behaved like a cock because, like, he wasn't getting delicious... I remember him asking about my mom, and at the time my mom had just gotten a new boyfriend and gotten a new car, and my dad almost died in the car when he found out she was doing good because he couldn't fucking handle it. And I remember telling him this, Dad, don't fucking ask. I was like, if you're gonna freak out about it, don't fucking ask. It's I don't even, like, fucking... Here's an example. Stu believes if he kills all my girlfriends, he gets to enslave me in the next life. He doesn't actually believe that. We know that from bro, it's all fake. I don't believe it. I know. Like, we know Stu knows he's full of shit. But he's not going to admit that because it gets him killed and he's scared of being dead. We learned that, okay? And it would be like me just telling everybody I have a girlfriend or I'm getting laid regularly. I would never fucking say that because it would put the girl's life in danger, because these people are maniacs and they would murder that person or women immediately because they're fucking maniacs, like... But these people have to know, and when they find out they're losing, and they don't got nice trinkets and things, like, I don't even fucking... You're constantly comparing yourself to other people, and you're always going to be miserable when you do that, okay? No matter what, you're always going to be miserable when you do that, because somebody is always going to be better than you at something, okay? They are always going to be better than you at something. And this is the issue with the envy brain, is I would argue envy might be a type of mental disorder. Maybe it's not a core emotion, or maybe it is. That's even scarier, because that just implies that that's where evil comes from. But these are just my thoughts on the subject, and if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, I hope this helped you.